Taking second in the smallest engine class was the 205 of Stephen Crockett, just happy to see the finish after the back axle had worked itself loose over the final loop. Over 8 minutes up at the finish, the screaming Ignis of Neil Coulter and Hannah Sessford took the class win, despite the crew feeling the car was set up a bit too bouncy. This left Hannah in particular feeling rather tender by the end of the day. Class 2 was a 205 benefit. Rounding out the finishers after severe overheating problems was Billy Faulkner's example. Fourth in class went to the Redpath brothers, also taking third junior driver and second junior co-driver home. Third in class came David McLaughlin, spending all day holding the car in gear after the gear linkage failed. Held back by a final stage puncture, Robbie Beattie managed a useful second in class. Switching back to a 205 after campaigning in Escort last year, Andy Chalmers and Martin McCabe took the class win by 41 seconds at the finish. There was carnage in Class 3 as three of the expected front runners, Angus Laurie in the Corsa, Keith Riddick in his MG and Jim Robertson in the C2, all retired before second service. Also struggling, Andy Struthers' C2 broke a drive shaft in the final loop, but managed to limp home to 5th in class. Another to suffer on the last two stages, Martin Crombie had to pull over to rebuild his gear linkage on SS4 and then hit a bridge on SS5. Fourth in class was a good reward for his perseverance. Alex Pirrie managed to grab third in class despite a dodgy throttle cable on the C2. Top of the class there was a titanic battle between two hotshot juniors in R2s. Marty Gallagher's Peugeot looked to have things in control until a last loop charge from Thomas Gray's Fiesta closed the gap to just 1 second at the finish. This left Thomas second in class and the juniors, but his charge had brought him to the attention of the judging panel, who awarded him the first ever SRC John Horton Star Driver Award.
Yeah, it was a good surprise there at the end after losing the class by 1 second, so it was a kind of a good boost, but yeah, it's a good opportunity for a lot of people, you know, so I look forward to it.
And obviously, just going back to today, I mean, the fact that you were within 1 second of Marty, who had been sort of setting the pace all day, you guys have been going at it today very well. Yeah,
I mean, I'd lie if I say I wasn't trying hard, especially in the afternoon, you know, it's good to have someone with a similar car and, you know, similar age, and you know, there's not many excuses you could give really. So I mean, I didn't plan to actually do the whole championship, but it's a bit of incentive now to have a good battle, you know.
Doing just enough to stay ahead, Marty Gallagher was delighted with a class and junior win on only his 4th gravel rally.
Yeah, it was definitely that we didn't come here expecting to get a good result at all. It was just kind of getting more experience and gravel and see how we get on. But yeah, the result kind of paid off towards the end of the weekend and made it good.
Top junior, and obviously we've got a really good prize at the end of the year for a junior, so hopefully you can come back and do some more Scottish events.
Yeah, that's the plan anyway. Kind of whatever rounds are not coinciding with the BRC, we'll try to do them and see how we get on the rest of them. So.
And even better, I mean, it's good to get a battle with somebody. And Thomas Gray, who's one of our quite young Scottish guys, he closed the gap at the end to just 1 second.
Yeah, it was tight going now. We didn't look at the times for the last two stages, so we had no idea how close he was. I say we had a good run in the first stage there. The second stage just didn't really gel with us. Like, I couldn't get into rhythm, and he was able to pull, I think it was something like 6 or 9 seconds on it. So that was a good bit, like. And we pulled a wee bit in the third stage, and then he pulled back in the fourth and fifth. So whenever I got the phone call from the father, then it was kind of shocking that we actually won it. Yeah. So no, definitely happy now, definitely.
Good.
We're on board with Callum Fraser and Andrew Logan in SS2. Over 7 minutes were lost as they dug themselves out of this ditch, and in their efforts to catch up there were some more moments. At the end of the day, Callum and co-driver Andrew managed to finish 5th in class. "12 minutes ahead, John O'Kane punctured a front tyre on SS3. This effectively ended his run at a class podium in 4th. Another minute up, Scott McQueen got his season off to a good start with a solid 3rd in class in the 205. An enforced engine change on the Thursday before the rally left Paddy Munro struggling, the exhaust manifold snapping early on, leaving both driver and co-driver deaf and hoarse by the end of the day. Taking the class by 1.5 minutes on his Escort debut, Fraser McNichol was delighted with the new car's performance. Much more to come from this team in the future rounds. Ian and Sandy Milne were the only Class 5 SRC finishers in their Escort. A lengthy off-road excursion on SS1 sealed Kevin Gray's fate. The Astra eventually dug out the ditch to finish 3rd in class. Michael Renton snapped the exhaust off of his 306 on his way to 2nd in class, 3 minutes up on Gray's Astra. Despite an off in SS4, Luke McLaren took a convincing win by over a minute in his Fiesta. Falling into a ditch on the final stage was not the return to rallying Malcolm Buchanan had hoped for. The Escort completely stuck, leading to a frustrating retirement. Third on his Escort debut, Michael Stewart was very happy with his day out. Another driver to look out for as he gets used to his car. Second in class despite modifying the styling of his Escort with a small off, Duncan MacDonald was fairly happy with his day out in the forest and happy to return his borrowed engine in one piece. Romping away to both the class and the overall two-wheel drive victory, Dougal Brown and Lewis Rochford just squeezed into the top 20 at the end of the day. With new son Harris in charge of the service crew, Dougal was glad that the car had never missed a beat all day.
Hi, thanks. It's been a good day. Pushed from the start and got an early lead, which is what we planned for. Managed to keep Malcolm and the rest of the field behind us. So couldn't ask for more really at the end of the day.
Car behaved itself impeccably?
Yeah, it has, yeah. But it didn't get much TLC through the off season, but a wee service and it's run run perfectly today.
I thought maybe Dougal being a dad would slow him down a bit, but hasn't done, so all good.
Ken and Gordon Wood had their Dolomite back out in the woods after a couple of years away. The big car the only Class 8 finisher in 61st after losing a load of time in SS1 with a broken track control arm.